we have about like a 60 to 70% customer return rate. So we know when people try the product once, literally the first time you take the product, you know you're going to like it. Like you'll feel better. There's brands that do videos and do crazy claims and they end up getting sued for them. That's not a game we're going to play.
Yeah, I think I can think of one, like a gut health brand. I
don't talk bad about anyone.
No. But I'm thinking of it.
Weight loss, it is a very personal thing. It's like you said, it's a very vulnerable thing for some people. And to see them then come back with like results and like lift up their shirt and be like, look how much weight I lost. You know, like those were cool moments.
Those are really cool moments. It seems like you're kind of living your dream job.
Yeah, listen, I'm grateful for what it's given me. I like took care of my dad in a hospital for 6 months with cancer. Being able to work out of a hospital room and like still have income, like unbelievable.
Would you recommend to someone who is starting this, you should open a brick and mortar first to learn hard things?
No, I don't recommend it.
Dan?
Yes.
I'm so excited for an actual conversation that's with mics, even though we've had really good ones that should have been recorded and they traversed all sorts of topics.
Yep.
But today I'm with Dan Cox, who you might recognize from some fun things like The Bachelor, but that was back in
Another
life. Now he's a happy dad who's getting full REM sleep and the CEO of Wellthy and Metcon. Yeah, just looking to do supplements well and thoughtfully and customer centric, which I love because I think there's such a value in kind of demystifying that world. So today I just love to have a conversation about like how you got there, what it means to you, and just how your journey has ebbed and flowed from a business perspective, how you have emotionally weathered that. Yeah, so that's what I'm hoping to dive into today.
Love it. Let's do it.
But no topic off limits.
No topic off limits. Let's go.
Not even like REM sleep. Okay, so you had physical stores.
Yes, correct.
In Vegas.
In Las Vegas and LA. Yep.
Which you already know how I feel about Vegas. Yep. I said there's no body of water. You said, there's Lake Mead. Mm-hmm. I thought that didn't count, but that's for another episode.
A little fun fact, Las Vegas is the largest metropolitan city in the closest proximity to the most national parks in the country.
Okay, you had that one like so ready to go because people like me who live in Bend, Oregon probably challenge you all the time.
Yeah, where are you going to go in Bend? You got to go all the way to Rainier.
Oh, really? How about Bachelor, buddy?
Yeah, you got Bachelor. That's right.
It's a ski town.
Yeah. I'll give you that.
Know your facts.
Yes.
If your brother is listening, he's going to be quite upset. Okay. For sure. So, back in the day, you'd be behind a counter. Mm-hmm. There'd be people coming in, probably kind of embarrassed, maybe slightly vulnerable.
Yeah.
Trying to accomplish something about their health. So you would meet them in those moments and you would hear that vulnerability and then you would create suggestions. Yeah.
So, I mean, our stores were very hands-on, right? So, typical nutrition retail store is a bunch of stuff on the shelves. Customer hears something, has a friend, tell them they need to take something, look something up online. They try to find something on the shelf. They're trying to navigate of all these brands, what makes sense.
Yeah.
And then they go to the counter, checkout. For us, it was much more like, what is the reason you're in the store? You think you need protein. You think you need ashwagandha. Like you think you need these things, but what are your actually like ailments or what the goals are you working towards? So when they would come in, we would break that down first. So a typical customer would come in and say, oh, I'm looking for protein. And it's like, okay, why? Like, what is the reason? And so, if it was weight loss, if it was building lean muscle, we dive down to what the actual outcome they wanted was. And then we look at what they're doing diet-wise, because obviously that's a major, most important. You
didn't charge for this. This is just customer experience.
Customers comes in.
Okay.
We find out what they're doing diet-wise, what they're doing exercise-wise, what their day-to-day is like. Are they sedentary? Are they moving a lot?
Do people actually admit that they're sedentary?
No, but the easiest way is just, what do you do for work?
Okay, yeah.
And then like if you're sitting in front of a computer all day, or if you're out in the field and you're, welding lines, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then we would look at what they're doing from an exercise standpoint, and then we would take them on a body fat analysis machine. So we literally find out like true, and especially with this isn't like a sexist thing, but especially with women,
Yeah.
weight is such a triggering thing.
I'm even picturing myself in this situation and I'm mortified.
But weight is so funny because it's not apples to apples, right? Like when you weigh, you're weighing skeletal tissue, you're weighing muscles, and you're weighing fat, and you're weighing water. And so being on a like body fat analysis machine, we're able to dissect all that. And actually, so here's your actual weight in muscle, and here's your weight in body fat. And then we would set them up on a program. So after diving in through all that, we'd find supplements that would actually help them reach their goals. 70% of the customers would look for weight loss.
Yeah.
So then once we got them on the products and kind of the system to help them speed up results, they would leave. And then when they come back in 30 days, we do it again. And so we check the results and make sure that we're actually achieving results as opposed to just selling a product and, maybe they'll come back, maybe they won't.
Dan, I'm going to be honest. Yep. I don't even think my primary care has given that many shits about me.
What's funny about this whole thing is when we would have returns come in. So people would come back after like a week or two.
Yeah.
They'd bring the same bag back with and we would sell a lot of products, right? Yeah. Especially if depending on how drastic the results were, they would be on a lot of supplements. And customer would come back and we just knew it. They'd come back through the door with the bag. 99% of the time, it's because they went to their doctor and asked if they should be taking this. Oh. So they would come back, and this is pre-COVID, by the way. Supplements pre-COVID were honestly like, doctors wouldn't touch it. It was never like a thing. And so, and this is very general, obviously. Yeah. But customer would come back in, and the first question, they would say, like, hey, I have to return this. And we're like, no problem, why? They're like, I showed it to my doctor. They told me not to take any of it. And the first thing I would ask them is, did your doctor ask what your diet was like?
Interesting. I don't think
not a single one. Me. Not a single one. Their doctor asked what their diet was like. They would literally say, if it's weight loss, you just need diet and exercise. If it's, or take this prescription, or they would give some other reason why they weren't reaching their goals, and then it would typically be prescribing a prescription. But yeah, that's like. No one in the medical industry, and again being very general.
Yeah, we can be general.
Yeah, it's not a common thing to look at getting people healthy long term. It's not a common thing in the medical industry to prevent disease. It's always putting Band-Aids on.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where we, it's interesting. And I say pre-COVID because after COVID, doctors had to say taking vitamin D was good. Like doctors had to say that the most common deficiency was magnesium and vitamin D.
Yeah.
Like it had to come out. There was
There's nowhere to hide.
People were hurting. Like bad things were happening. And so I think it changed the industry a lot when the medical industry had to kind of admit that there are deficiencies and supplements do work. I mean, I don't know if you remember and maybe because I was in it, but on CNN, it'd always be, don't take a multivitamin. You're wasting your money.
Yeah. Well, because there is so much snake oil out there. I mean, there was a caution around which one, if any, correct. Right? If any. So the kind of care you were giving people, which I find quite rare. I don't think I've ever had that experience as a customer, but definitely not with a doctor. I mean, I literally have to bring my Oura Ring data to my doctors and say, here's numbers. Can you do something? So I think that's quite rare. But then you took those stories, you took that experience, which to have a tangible customer experience in person and then move that experience to a digital world probably gave you quite a bit of context of who's on your website. But how do you recreate that in a website?
It's tough. It's really tough.
Yeah.
When you're face to face with a customer and you know what their needs are,
and you're reading their body language.
Correct. You can apply that.
Yeah.
And there's no, all the apps and everything on Shopify, there's no thing that can mimic that, right? So we have to do our best to present the products, what they do.
Yeah.
And honestly, our biggest way of doing that was word of mouth and trial. But yeah, I mean, there's very few things. I will say there are a couple tools I've used. Tolstoy's an app where you can have, if you go on our website right now, you click on a product page, there'll be a little video of me.
That's his competitor, right?
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to say that.
No, I mean, okay. I love that.
Okay,
I mean,
perfect.
There's a market for it.
For sure.
This is where it was born out of, because you're right. You can get people to have a more live interactive
Correct.
experience.
Most people aren't reading through a product page. And so if they can
Yeah.
click on a picture of me of explaining the product and what it's going to do,
Yeah.
like that's the closest thing we can get to it.
Yeah.
You know, and then obviously like just customer service, like customers reach out. Hey, I have this concern, or I want to do this. Will your product work? Can I mix it with that? You know, like these are all questions we would deal with in the store that we're having to work with on a customer service over email side now. So there's some of that stuff translates. Some you're just doing everything you can to kind of replicate as much of that experience as you can with your website and social.
I mean, like the supplement world, again, it's still about feelings. Like people need to like look at your brand and be like, that looks safe. Like, how did you create a brand that you settled on? It was like, okay, I like the colors, I like the messaging.
Yeah.
Because I think I would just go back and forth with, wait, is that too feminine? Is that too masculine? Is that too bright? I honestly think it would keep me up at night because it's so personal to someone.
For sure. I think, again, being in the stores, seeing thousands of customers come through.
Yeah.
One of the things, you know, I noticed and why I created Wellthy was we would have customers come in. We do this whole analysis of them, right? To then take the products were the last part of it. So take them through the products. And I would see especially female customers, again, being very general here, but especially female customers looking at the shelf. And some of the stuff I could tell, they were like, they liked what we were saying. They liked the results they would get from it. But when they saw the package, there was a like hesitation.
Right.
And
so it was
also
like a big buff man on it.
That like rip fuel, like things that were like offensive, right? Like, and I shouldn't say offensive, but just were intense. Right?
Well,
like,
yeah, if it ripped, swole,
like
large.
rip your face off, fat burn. You know, like it was just like there was some stuff that was just I could tell customer, like this was me looking at the customer and saying, you're going to take this home and you're going to hide it because you're embarrassed to have this in your cabinet.
Yes.
So I wanted to create a product line that if someone came over and opened up your cabinet, they'd be like, oh, that's cool. What is that?
Yeah.
So our initial design was really like the core of the product was about being all natural, results driven, single origin ingredients. So working with the same suppliers so the product's consistent. Those were like the core pillars.
Yeah.
But from a design standpoint, we took a lot of cues from the cosmetic industry of like what is appealing as a product.
Yeah.
And again, this is like my very early stage of like designing products. So I don't claim I had like, you know, I'm not like revolutionary in this, but it was like, what are women excited to show off?
Yeah.
What are women excited to buy? Cosmetics, like they do an unbelievable job with packaging.
They do.
So we took some cues from that. We did like the amber bottle, like very soft pastels.
Oh, yeah. Amber bottle all day.
Yeah.
But why?
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't matter.
Really explain.
It just seems like it works. So that was like the initial look. And that was one of the core pillars was like, let's have a product that people aren't embarrassed to have in their cabinet. And that eventually evolved when we were looking at new form factors of packaging and how we stand out. I think I told you the story, but we were producing a like kind of a short run of a gummy for a customer. And we wanted to put it in bags, in gusseted bags. And I kind of thought like, why aren't capsules in this? And one of the like core pillars of Wellthy was like, again, not only just like being appealing to a customer, but also like demedicinizing taking supplements. Like let's make it more friendly. And that's one of the reasons we did gummies was, okay, this is a friendly way to take nutrients. But what if that same experience could be had with a capsule?
Yeah.
So it was like, why not put capsules in a gusseted bag?
Yeah.
No one else is doing this. Why? It removes like 90% of the plastic that a bottle contains.
Yes, this blows my mind.
And yeah, it's unbelievable. Just from a plastic weight ratio, it's less than 90%.
Right.
And it demedicinized taking it. If you can open up a gusseted bag and kind of tap out a couple pills or reach in, it made it more fun. It made it less serious. And so that was where we eventually landed, was going into a form factor that was totally unique in the industry.
Yeah. I mean, the pioneering packaging is wild to me. Also, when you said that, pills aren't in bags, I'm like, because they'd get crushed, but you said no, they just don't.
So there's actually more damage. We've tested this out, but there's more damage with pills being shaken around and smashing against a hard plastic bottle wall than there is in a bag. Obviously, if they get, if it's pressure or they get, crushed by something, but there's enough air in there that it literally, we honestly haven't had any issues with the gusseted bags, which is crazy. And we did have issues with, like, you'd open up a bottle and then you look in the bottom and kind of, there's one capsule that cracked open, right? And it's because there was some banging around in there. So
I feel like because your team is lean, like you're doing a ton, like your CEO, you have the vision for it, you're like really hands-on with your business. If you were to make a decision that costs a lot of money and then have to roll it back because it just doesn't feel right.
Yep.
Like, has that happened where you're like, ooh, there's a lot of money in this, but I can't do it. Like even launching a product that you're like, ooh, it's not really to the standard that I wanted it to be at.
Never that it's not been to the standard, but I think we've done things that have been kind of ahead of the customer's curve.
Okay.
And two, honestly, just like too expensive of a product. Like we've made it
margins aren't there.
Margins aren't there. We've made it kind of like an all-in-one. Research showed that this would be a very viable product, and also customers accepting of this. We did a whole single origin line, so to promote like what we thought was where the customers go in traceability, single origin. So we went down to ground floor level working with farms. So we were working with a cacao grower in Ecuador, regeneratively grown cacao. Like the best chocolate in the world wasn't even using their cacao. You went to Ecuador? We didn't go directly, but we had our brokers that would go down and visit and we're in contact with them. We used a single origin collagen, a group of ranchers out of Brazil. We did our monk fruit, was working with a small producer in China that was, monk fruit is obviously a sweetener.
Yeah.
It's extracted extremely harshly to get the most sweetness out of it. We found a grower that would only extract like 20%. So it was very light extraction, the closest thing you get to the actual fruit. We did all these things, we brought it together. So basically it was like a single origin collagen mix. One was cacao, one was matcha, and then one was blue-green algae.
Okay, that sounds expensive though.
Very expensive. And then they all had the highest quality functional mushrooms we could find in them.
Nice.
With the best extraction methods.
Wait, so you're saying this doesn't exist?
It does. We thought like it was a big expense. It was a big undertaking. We were obviously bringing all these raw materials in. So we were almost acting like the ingredient supplier,
right.
As well as obviously doing the manufacturing. And we went to Expo West, and I thought this was going to set everyone on fire. Like, this was going to be the best thing.
I'm already pre-devastated.
And the buyers, all they wanted to talk about was our weight loss products. And I thought for sure, I'm like, this is what's going to hit. Like, we're at the Natural Products Expo. This is where they're looking for the most natural products ever.
Come on.
And weight loss was the highest thing on their mind. And the products sold. Like, we did fine with them, but it wasn't enough to justify continuing the line. And that's one of those moments where like we went heavy in, and we just had to eat. We found ways to move it.
Yeah.
And it worked out. But yeah, those moments of like putting so much time and energy into a product that we think is going to be a hit, and then it's not as big as we anticipated, and kind of our core, what people know us for, is what they came back to. So that was kind of like, we've had those moments for sure.
Right. In hindsight, was it at all the messaging and marketing, or was it true?
100%. 100%.
Okay.
Like we were spreading ourselves thin.
Okay.
We were reaching a different segment of the market, right?
Yeah.
The more natural side. And we found out a lot. Like, we were targeting matcha drinkers. We were targeting cacao lovers. We were targeting blue-green algae, which is an even smaller segment.
Yeah.
And so there was a lot of education on our end. We probably did, like, I'll just be completely honest, we didn't do the best of it. And it wasn't as sought after of a product as we thought it was going to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is, I can see being so devastating when you cared so much. You did any hoop, you jumped through it. You made sure that it was. But so right now, can I buy that or no?
We have the cacao still available. The cacao we still produce because it does have a pretty good following. So, yeah.
I mean, just
so yeah, it's 10 grams of collagen. We have 2 grams of this regeneratively grown cacao, and a gram between chaga and reishi mushrooms out of an unbelievable grower. It's like, it makes the best hot chocolate you've ever had in your life.
Okay,
Yeah.
done.
Plus, it's like functional. So yeah,
functional campfires.
Yes, exactly.
Campfire hot chocolate. I think what's unique and like what's come out in like a lot of our conversations is because you care so much about this world and you've connected so deeply with your customers, you probably have like core memories of like distinct conversations where someone was like truly like really nervous or like really ashamed, or I mean, it's a very vulnerable thing.
For sure. I will say, getting, like, again, weight loss is, it's what most of our customers came in for. It is a very personal thing. It's like I said, it's a very vulnerable thing for some people. Seeing customers come in and kind of not at like their lowest point, but they're definitely like, this is it. I want to try one more thing kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. And to see them then come back with like results and like lift up their shirt and be like, look how much weight I lost. Like those were cool moments.
Those are really cool moments.
There's all the stories of like, I play with my kids now. Like I have the energy back, like all those little things that you can't, we don't get as much online, but we do get, emails back like, you changed my life. Like I will like, I love this product to death. Like I'll continue buying like I hit my goals. Now I'm going to buy your other products.
Yeah.
All that stuff. It like means the world. I think it just, again, as a society in general, and we've kind of come back to weight loss and gut health being one of our primary focuses, just because it is such a need.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's definitely something like, I care a lot about. So.
I mean, then you've built your career around something you care about, which I think comes through. It comes through in your product and all of the things. It'll probably be cool to see how it evolves in fatherhood, because you're probably going to watch like what your kid is eating and I'm sure you'll have like a whole other product line.
I mean, I have,
you have
like
ideas, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, that's a whole nother segment, but like the better for you part of packaged goods, I kind of have my radar's up on it, right? Like, so, all the things, I just really don't want to feed him like all the little processed things, even if they are like the better for you versions.
Yeah.
Just whole foods and, like
yeah,
what humans were meant to eat.
Yeah.
That's kind of my goal.
Yeah.
So, and I know convenience and I know all these things come into play, but that's I think our intention for sure.
Yeah. I mean, and I just think, even the way that fatherhood changes how you run a business and how you prioritize, but then, okay, you can only care. Now you used to have so much time to care. You used to have so much time that you could go on The Bachelor to try to fall in love and then go on a beach to try to fall in love. That time is
gone.
Well,
yeah.
Thank goodness.
Yes, for sure.
What a season.
No one needs that again.
But now you have so much more limited time, so you're going to have to figure out the things that you care deeply about. But it seems like you're kind of living your dream job.
Yeah,
like
listen, I'm grateful for what it's given me. I took care of my dad in a hospital for 6 months with cancer. Being able to work out of a hospital room and like still have
Such a
income,
privilege.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I owe everything to that too. And
Yeah.
now with a son, like being able to take time in the morning and be with him, like be flexible. Like my wife is going to work a full day tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm watching him and I'm going to be having him on my lap going through emails,
Yeah. That is the dream though.
For sure. And I think it's made me, with the limited time not limited, but the less time I do have, it's definitely made me more concentrated and focused on it. Like I don't take meetings just to take them. I don't, there's
Gosh, who does?
Yeah.
Help me understand.
Like it used to be like, well, this may be worth it. This may be a good connection. Maybe this vendor we will, like, I don't need him right now, but maybe we'll work with them.
Right,
like
right.
I don't do any of that anymore.
Yeah.
And so I'm much more concentrated and I think much more effective now because of it.
Yeah. I mean, welcomed shift. Just cut all of the side stuff. Has there ever been something like, and I mean this is like, gosh, I love influencers, like good job influencing, but has there ever been something that's like a trend that would definitely drive revenue potentially that you're like, ooh, that doesn't really feel authentic to like what I'm trying to do?
As far as like,
for like a business decision of like, okay, I need to sell this. I could hire an influencer to say they love it.
Yep.
Like, cause
what is like,
what's off limits? Like, because marketing's hard. It's hard to stand out in this world.
There's companies that hire doctors or that hire actors to play doctors.
Oh, woof.
Like that's not a game we're going to play.
Yeah.
To me, that's a low one.
Yeah.
I mean, crazy claims. There's brands that do videos and do crazy claims and they end up getting sued for them.
Yeah. I can think of one, like a gut health brand.
I don't talk bad about anyone.
No. But I'm thinking of a very, very hyped TikTok gut health company that just even as a educated human was like, that just can't be right.
Some of the claims are crazy. And brands are willing to pay if they get sued because they're making so much money from that. So like, I'm very aware of companies that have done like crazy claims, made a ton of money, paid a fraction of it in lawsuits and
They're like,
continue to move on.
how
So
do they
that's
sleep at night, though?
It's not something I'm interested in. It's just not.
We're barely sleeping at night
Yeah.
as
Yeah,
we don't need to lose more sleep.
Exactly.
But you have partnered with people that genuinely love your brand
For sure.
and will genuinely talk about it.
And again, for better or for worse, we don't work with anyone who doesn't take our product. So we're not just going to like call someone who has a good following, sign a contract and do a deal with them. Like, and I think I joked with you, like we're your influencer's favorite product that you don't know they take because we don't pay anyone to post it. And they're getting a lot of money from other brands. We've bootstrapped this whole thing. We don't have a ton of cash to be thrown around. Every dollar has to count. So, we're putting, everything we have into R&D and into the products. So it's tough to compete with a lot of these big brands that have raised a ton of money, are able to pay anyone they want to talk about it, even though they don't take it. Like I know plenty of influencers who don't take half the products they promote. And it is what it is. It's no different than an actor on a TV commercial, right? Like Matthew McConaughey driving a Lincoln. Maybe he does drive a Lincoln. I don't know.
Let's hope, because in my head he does.
But you know what I'm saying? Like that's not a new concept. But I think because people are so attached to influencers, that they expect, especially the ones they love and follow, that they are actually doing what they say. Yeah. And some are, and some are not. So.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, it all kind of sounds like white noise to me now. Like if I see someone with a huge following, I would be way less likely to believe that they actually take that supplement rather than like a mom that lives a normal life and is like, I'm obsessed with this thing. I probably believe her.
But I do think it goes both ways, right? That mom may be getting a free product, just wants free stuff, right? That could be the case too.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, all influencers are bad. Don't take any product. Like,
no. I mean, it works.
It works. I have a lot of friends that do it for a living, and they do an amazing job. And
are you an influencer?
I don't know. I just play one on TV. I think people can really. I think people's like BS monitors are up, and they can really know who's genuine about things. And I do think there is something, because we've had this happen where an influencer reaches out to us. I love your product. I would love to promote it. And they don't promote anything unless they get paid, even though they still love it. Right. So like there are people, there are plenty of influencers that are doing the right thing. They just, that's how they make money. And they deserve to, because they've created an audience, and a community around it. So it's, I don't want to say all influencers are bad.
No, I don't hear that at all.
But we're definitely, we need to do a better job of probably supporting more of our influencers in that way that they are very influential, but they do love our products. And so just making other people more aware that they really do love our products.
Is the plan to always bootstrap? Like, what if you got some funding?
Yeah, I mean, that's the plan. We're moving into a lot of retail now. So I think it's what we got into Meyer, and then next month we launch in GNC nationwide. So we're now looking to raise off that to have a little bit more of a push we can make through that channel.
From a raising standpoint, would investors need to see that before trusting that you're the real deal? That's not my world. I mean, I
think from everyone I know in that space, it helps, right? So it's, if you can show an initial PO, there's a general expectation of how much business you're going to do with them in a year. So that raises your valuation. It also makes you like, you're a legit company. You've been able to get the attention of one of the largest supplement retailers in the country. Or the largest, that wants to bring your products in. So they came to us, which is great. And so to me, that's an interesting story for an investor, as opposed to, we sell online, here's our numbers. We're spending X amount of money to gain X amount of customers. I think this is a kind of unique proposition. And it is one where I think we can actually, I feel confident where we've at, like the amount of business we've done, the amount of customers we've helped. I feel confident in the trial and the products that we can really, really amplify it.
Yeah. Because I feel like you said getting the product in people's hands in some way. You partnered with FabFitFun to just get it to people, which I think is really wise, and create that repeat customer. Because because I think if I had to be in the shoes of someone who got a FabFitFun shipment, I would be terrified to go into a supplement store. Like, I would not get on a body weight machine and talk about like my activity level. I just wouldn't.
For sure.
Which is kind of weird, because like I love I love uncomfortable situations. So maybe someone who's like, oh my gosh, this is going to be amazing. They try it in the comfort of their own house. It comes to them. Are there more ways that you can like replicate whatever that is with FabFitFun?
Yeah, I mean, FabFitFun's an unbelievable partner. We've worked with them for a long time.
Yeah.
And so it's just a great way to get trial, new customers to try the product. We have about like a 60 to 70% customer return rate. So we know when people try the product once. And a lot of our products are what we call instant gratification. So literally the first time you take the product, you know you're going to like it. Like you'll feel better. And so that really helps that that kind of part of the business. So in-person events, shipping out to, we have customers that'll reach out for a sample. I probably shouldn't be saying this because I'm going to get a ton of DMs, but honestly, like if people
when
are
you
really
attach instant gratification to something, like DMs are coming
for sure. But we've like customers reach out for a sample, and like a lot of times I'll tell our customer service, just send them a product, like just do it.
Yeah.
Like they're that interested. It is a skeptical thing. I know a lot of people, especially if you're not in the space.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if this company I'm putting my credit card on a website. Like what am I doing?
Yeah.
So I think it is something where trial is our best friend, because we do such a good job with formulation that I know if the customer is looking for a specific result, and they come to our products that deliver that result, they're going to get it.
Yeah.
So the trial is to me, it's the best form of marketing.
When you are marketing in your branding, do you say instant gratification? Because it's we're talking bold claims. Like,
yeah, I mean, I categorically call them instant gratification.
But do you put that in writing? Like on
we
the
don't.
website?
I mean,
because you have to probably be so like.
Yeah, it's a fine line, right?
Yeah.
Like if someone then takes it and like, I didn't feel instant gratification, and I'm like, well, I'm sorry.
But
like,
that's what I mean. It's such a tricky world to please everyone with the words.
So the reason I use that is because when we talk about, we have a product called Sweat. It's a daytime fat burner. We have a product called Cleanse that is like de-bloating water weight. We have another product called Sleep. Any one of those products, the first time you take it, you're going to know whether you like it or not.
Okay.
And most likely, if you want the goal, like you're going to like it. Other products we have, like a women's multivitamin, we have collagen, colostrum. Those aren't instant gratification, right? Those take like a month or 2 months to actually start noticing the results from those. But we do, like even with our women's multi, we have a really good hair, skin, and nail complex in there. That the problem with the multivitamin is people are like, well, I take it. And like, do you notice anything? Like, well, you shouldn't notice anything. No. You just should feel good.
Yeah.
You should not get sick. Or not be, get sick as often.
All the time, yeah.
And so we put in like a hair, skin, and nail complex to actually get results out of a multivitamin. So like women are like, my nails are unbelievable. Like my hair's growing like for the first time and like thicker.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's good because it gets you to take your multi.
Yeah. I'm going to be like watching your journey so closely now that you have a son, because I like with 3 kids, they just bring home, I don't even know what, and we just can't escape every plague in the winter. And so if you have,
I mean, a multivitamin and colostrum, like colostrum has changed the way I look at immune, like gut health in general has changed the way I look at like immunity.
Wait, like the stuff that I produced right after birth.
Mm-hmm. So like your child coming into the world is for the first time being exposed to all these things, pathogens, things they are bacteria, right? So nature has produced this thing called collagen, like in your milk, colostrum in your milk. That is the greatest antibody on the planet. So
my kids are thriving because of it. They're welcome. So if they get a neck tattoo after I gave them that many days of nursing, they will, huh?
For sure. They'll push the other way. But I mean, colostrum it's nature's first source of nutrients, right? And it has powerful antibodies in it. The main one is called IgG. So it's immunoglobulin G. It is a antiviral, antipathogen, antibacterial, like antibody.
Is this controversial at all?
No, I mean, yes and no, right? It's the first milk. Cows produce a lot of additional colostrum that actually in dairy farms gets wasted because they can't sell it as milk.
Okay.
So once the calf has basically had what it needs to grow, they move it on. The mother still is producing colostrum. So I think there was like an initial of like, are you taking away, from the calves, which is not the case.
I think that's what I would have thought.
No, there's a lot of regulation around that. So the calves eat first, and then basically the mother would typically in a dairy farm they would be pumping out the colostrum to then get milk.
Okay.
Correct. It was not a byproduct, but basically it was a waste for them. So now it's being used for, supplements, super effective. It is, again, from the gut standpoint, like the gut to immune connection the gut is still like relatively unknown from like a medical standpoint, like all the bacteria that's going on in there. Like it's really only over the last 10 years, they've really uncovered like how important it is. It used to be the case that you'd want to take echinacea, elderberry, vitamin C, and zinc to like boost your immune system.
Yeah. Those feel outdated though.
It's not that it's outdated, and they do help, but the amount that colostrum can help is, to me, it's like it's a 10x difference.
Are people weirded out by it? Because like I mean, I talk about colostrum all the time because I have 3 kids, but like, are some like grown humans like, ooh, that sounds unknown to me.
I don't know. I think, I'll be honest, Armor has done a great job of marketing it. I think they promote like 1,000 benefits or whatever.
Yeah.
It's become part of just culture and a product. I think there's a lot even in food, like if you went down this path in food, are you weirded out by eating a chicken?
Absolutely not.
Right. So, but when you see a chicken and you're like, oh, that's a chicken, and now I'm eating.
I have chicken.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah. So like, but like like people don't go down that path, and they don't really do that too much with supplements either. It's literally a dehydrated first milk out of a calf.
Yeah.
So just like whey is a separated protein from milk.
Yeah.
It's following the same process.
Okay, so you've looked at these customers,
Yep.
You've heard their woes, you've met them in vulnerable moments. How did you use that experience in that space with them to translate how you brought something from a physical in-store to online, from a messaging perspective, from a social perspective? How did that shape how you're messaging?
I think, from a packaging standpoint, getting into like the benefits, kind of removing any doubts. From a social media standpoint, obviously giving them, user experiences, what to expect. Taking one of the cool things with direct to consumer versus in store is like we can take people through our manufacturing facility, show them how the product's being made.
Yeah.
So a little bit more behind the scenes on the product, ironically, can be done. You don't have as much of the hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
But, obviously apps on our website that allow customers to click on a video that should, like us talking to them about what the product's going to do, what to expect, how to start taking it, what to keep it away from, right?
Yeah.
And the results. That's really kind of the human touch that we can bring to Shopify. And then honestly, like customer service, we have a customer service team that if something isn't, like logistics, they'll come to me sometimes, and I'll respond back personally, because I think it's important to have that like communication. And I've done so much of it that it's not like, to me, it's not a waste of time. Like,
it's
if a customer has a legit concern, they've taken the product or they have a question about the product, like I would much rather it come from me than our customer service team that has, a kind of, set list of things to answer. And it allows me to engage a little bit more. And I actually do love it. Like, that's the fun part of like, I can make a difference for this person. I know exactly what they're feeling because I've dealt with thousands of them, right?
Yeah.
Of that moment of where they're at. And that's kind of where we bring the humanity into the direct to consumer world.
Do you think if you never had those in-stores, like those in-store experiences, do you think the video explanations would even be a thing? Because I don't think I would have thought to do that unless I had that in-person dialogue.
I think so. Our goal with it was how do we make this personal, and like again, I'm putting my face out there. Like, I am the founder. I stand behind, we formulate everything with our manufacturer. Any questions should be brought to me. That is one thing in the industry. I think brands, especially in the supplement space, that have founders that come out in front and sit and talk about their products, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because it puts a face to it, but it also puts some like ownership on it.
Yeah.
And what the brand's doing.
Yeah, because if you're canceled, you're going down with this ship.
For sure. For sure.
Don't worry, that won't happen.
But it also is like, if companies are doing things that aren't, in the best interest of the customer, they can hide behind a brand a lot of times, right?
Yeah.
So I think it is important to be out in front.
So would you recommend to someone who is starting this, you should open a brick and mortar first to learn hard things?
No, I don't recommend it. Listen, this was a decade ago.
Yeah.
The market was different. D2C wasn't as big as it is now. Amazon, listen, Amazon was big, but it wasn't as big as it is now.
Yeah.
And actually one of the moments I had of kind of getting out of retail was we had in 2 of our stores, we had Office Maxes in the same shopping center.
Oh.
And I was ordering office supplies for our stores on Amazon when I could have had an employee walk across the street to do it.
Why? Because it was just cheaper?
Convenient, cheaper.
And
right?
then you said this is the way.
And I'm like, this is crazy. If I'm doing this and there's literally, I'm looking at an office supply store, what are my customers doing?
Right.
Like they're sitting at home and being like, oh, I'll just order online.
Do you think that people getting to, in the privacy of their own, the comfort of their bed, shop for supplements, they feel safer?
I don't know. And we're being general here, but the question about, do I recommend people starting a brick and mortar? I personally wouldn't, again. I don't like the liability of the leases.
Right.
I do think it's interesting, like the pop-up method, short term, creating an experience, I think is very valuable.
Yeah.
I think if you're starting a brand and you can do a pop-up and then engage, I think that's 100%.
Amazing.
But if you're going to leverage everything on a 5-year lease agreement and everything that comes along with it, like that's a little rough.
Yeah.
I do think as much as you can do in person, especially in this world of AI, everything's online, right? It really brings some character to it. And as a founder, you'll learn a lot from meeting customers face to face.
What was the most surprising thing? Because it seems like it would all be good going from in store to, was there any like, whoa, wasn't expecting that?
Yeah, I mean, it's different, right? With the retail stores, you're looking to market to a 2 to 5 mile square radius.
Right.
You open up a Shopify, you're looking to market to
the world,
3,000 mile span of the country. So that's different, obviously. Almost and I think the other thing too is like opportunity overwhelm. When you have a store, there's literally a few things you can do to get people into that store, right? You can go to local gyms, you can use local advertising, you can do very targeted, Facebook ads to drive people in, word of mouth, referrals, all that. When you start looking at the whole country, it's like, well, how many apps are there I can use? How many things can I optimize? How many, like the segmenting, like it's overwhelming from that sense. That I think was the biggest kind of challenge of like going from our retail stores to out. The other thing,
you kind of miss the simplicity, or is it like, no?
No, I mean, to be honest, because we're able to reach so many more people now. The other thing too is when I started, I felt confident starting because I knew the market. Literally I was creating Wellthy because I wanted products that weren't available. And so that was the intent of like meeting customers, giving them products they want, they're not going to be ashamed to take. But I had a customer. I had my stores buying the product, right?
Right.
So I had a distribution channel. And then once like giving that up was also a big thing, right?
Yeah.
Of like, now I have to find new distribution for this product, direct to consumer, other retailers. So that was a big shift too.
Yeah. And then how have you, I guess the content, like pushing mass amounts of like emails and Instagram, that wasn't really a thing. And then you had to how do you keep up with that demand? We've
kind of just grown with what's going on in the market, right? Grown with the way email got popular. Obviously, we've been through that, SMS, and then obviously social has changed so much over the last couple of years. So just trying to navigate that whole scene, and really just keep our messaging the same, keep our intent the same, the brand the same, but adapt to what the customers are obviously viewing and what gets them excited.
Yeah, because it just seems like Lean Team. Trying to reach an entire country, trying to do it with authenticity, trying to reach the right people. And again, Lean Team as in like you are hands on keyboard, approving, messaging going out. Are you trying to find ways to optimize this? Like obviously like you're not down too deep down any type of, you use Tolstoy but we're going to change that. And then, you've optimized different parts, but are there parts that you're still like, oh, this is such a pain. I need a tool that optimizes.
Yeah,
this.
I think people and tools combined.
Yeah.
So community management, content management, a lot of that we need to bring someone in for. And then I think on the other side, the ad buying is another piece between direct consumer Amazon that we're looking to bring in house too.
Got it.
Yep.
Well, I'm rooting for you.
Appreciate it.
And I have your back. So if I'll start taking at least the sleep one.
For sure.
And then I'll be your hype woman.
That's
so.
awesome. That is awesome.
I mean, a micro influencer. We got this.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
We'll take it
or we get like the whole next Bachelor cast to be like full blown into it.
So I used to take care of a lot of the cast.
Yeah, you did.
Well, from a standpoint of like, you were
their guy. They're like supplement guy.
Like ABC would like
Call
be
you.
like, we need him to get, we need
They
him
need
to
to
put
be
on muscle.
healthy.
Yeah. No, we need to
Honestly-
get them in shape. We need to look them like, I want the lead to look really good on TV. So they would go through me. This is when I was still really tied in.
Okay, but that is
yeah.
like such a compliment because
Yeah.
that means that one, you didn't embarrass yourself too much.
Yeah.
You kept your personal brand intact somehow. Do you know how I would destroy my personal brand on accident some way? Somehow I'd find a way. But you maintained to being like the guy to keep people healthy.
I tried the best I could. Yeah, it was.
Did it.
Yeah, it worked out. It worked out great.
It worked out.
Yeah.
Well, I'm proud of you, and I think you're gonna keep crushing it. But I think we're all gonna keep watching that.
Awesome.
But maybe even we'll see you in like Target and like the bigger stores soon.
Yeah, I mean that's next. Like I said, Myers, so Midwest customers, GNC, and then our next target is like Sprouts and Target.
Okay, so
yeah,
and the website is
so try Wellthy.
Try Wellthy.
.com.
See,
Yep.
I'm glad I asked because we can't just be going Wellthy.
Yeah, and Wellthy.
Yeah,
It's like
obviously
rich in
be
health.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good branding
Yep.
through and through.
And then Metcon is just metcon.com.
Okay, wait, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
What would Metcon do for?
So Metcon is like sport nutrition driven.
Okay.
So that was when I had my stores, we were looking for kind of a health essential line,
Yeah.
like results driven, and then we wanted a sport nutrition line. At the time, we were one of the first like all natural sport nutrition products. So pre-workouts and post protein.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. So once I start working out, then
Perfect.
I'll know
We
all
got
that.
you.
Okay. Well, this is fun, and yeah, can't wait to see you thrive.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.